All right, welcome back, gentlemen. Just finished work, got off the train, now headed back home. It's got out a little bit early today, so which is nice. It's Friday, so we're getting into a flow of things, and I'm pretty happy at where I'm at the current stage. Um, I watched the video I uploaded in the very morning when I was like going to the gym, and I was like, "Yo, you're stuttering a little too much, and there's a lot of murmuring, and ums, and that's something I'm like after watching the video, I was like, I need to learn how to cut that off more and more. So that's gonna be something I'm gonna be focusing on, and that's just with the process of like learning new things and picking up areas where I can improve. But it doesn't mean right. It doesn't mean that you need to stop because you're not talented or you're not good enough. It's a matter of getting comfortable. It's a matter of building up that repetition to build that skill where it comes out naturally. But I do give myself a little bit of slack because I was tired in the morning, and that's like my second time ever doing it. So I'm gonna show myself some grace there. But that actually led me to a different discussion. It was something off of that one. But yeah, basically after doing that whole routine, because it's going to be my daily routine, I'm going to be uploading twice. So basically got home, not home, but I got to work and I kind of wrote down the steps of saying, hey, this is when you record video 1, this is when you download it, and this is when you record video 2, when to download it, because I can only download the video onto YouTube when I'm hooked up to Wi-Fi. Because if it's not hooked up to Wi-Fi, my phone takes like a gazillion years to download, and I don't know even how much data, because I have a maximum amount of data, of unlimited data, but like, quality data. So I don't want to waste it on, downloading the video. So when I get home, I download the first video, I record the second video on the way to work, and I download the second video when I'm hooked up to the Wi-Fi at work. And then I not figure out how to, but I already know how to, but I make the thumbnails quick and easy and upload the first video, and then a couple hours later I upload the second one. So I wrote down that whole process. I wrote down like the weekday YouTube uploads walkthrough, and then I just had ChatGPT create a little nice visual of it, and that's how you start. That's how you create a system, right? You do a little walkthrough, figure out what are the steps, right? And the reason I write it down, it helps solidify like, hey, these are the steps. So when I wake up and I need a quick reminder, hey, this is how the day is gonna look like, and I do it. And after doing it a couple of weeks, it becomes like a habit. It goes on to autopilot. So you just create like little things like that, help you improve the process and allow you to go through it in a flow where over time you just begin to just do it naturally. And that's the whole thing about systems. You're using systems, you're using like little things to help you perform, for it just to become a natural habit over time. And then after doing it for a couple of times, what you do is like look for room for improvement. So when I reviewed the first video, I was like, okay, we need to figure out how to speak better. And if you have nothing to say, just slow down, think, right? Because everything I'm doing on this video is kind of free flow. And it's just like right before I make the video, I just kind of go like, okay, what kind of ideas do I feel like are valuable to share? And also I'm sharing this, right? Because I also want you guys to see how I'm implementing what I'm teaching you guys into my life when it comes to making YouTube. So I'm trying to lead by example, and also how I used this system to create a routine, a daily routine, a weekly routine that helps me reach my fitness goals. So, and all that is going to be more shared over time. Right now, my first mission right now is just get in the habit of uploading videos, get used to talking to a camera, because all of that is like new. All of that's new. So yeah, one step at a time, and the key is to keep moving forward. So sometimes, And another time, and sometimes something I'm getting over is like, don't allow my mood dictate if I'm going to do something or not, And I was like pondering on that, and I realized like, hey, the same voice, the same mood that's telling you, hey, you shouldn't do that, you're tired, just making excuses, right? The excuses, that's going to be the same voice that's going to talk to you an hour, a couple hours later, a day or a week or a month later, and it's going to shame you and guilt trip you for not doing it. So you can't trust your mood, man. You just got to avoid the mood, and you have to operate according to your principles, according to your code, and according to your schedule. Your schedule, your daily tasks, that's your boss. Your mood is not your boss. Okay, so drill that into your head. If you want to achieve things, you can't allow your mood to dictate behavior. You just have to power through it. And the more you do it, the smaller that voice gets. That's what I realized. Because you just get into a habit, like you become almost like robotic, which is good, but you want to train yourself to be robotic, doing the things that actually, take you into the direction that you want to go and push the needle towards the finish line. So thinking about things like that, another worthy thought I was thinking about to share that helped me kind of readjust a lot of my thinking is choose your hard. It's very popular within the motivational sphere, but just realizing that everything in life is going to be difficult, right? The most applicable one to a lot of people is health and fitness, right? A lot of people say it's really hard to eat healthy, to go work out, but it is also hard not to be healthy, not to enjoy your body, right? It's not fun. It's a type of difficulty. So it's really measuring which difficulty are you willing to tolerate. And being all honest, it's not that difficult, guys, to create a system and do it for 3 weeks of eating clean and going to the gym at least 3 times a week or 4 times a week, guys. It's not difficult. It's difficult if it's really new to you, but if you do it for 3 to 4 weeks, guys, it becomes a habit, and it's a good habit. And you're going to face 4 weeks of discomfort, right? And that will change your identity, and that identity will change your future, right? Are you going to deal with that kind of difficulty or the difficulty of living in your current fitness level at the current moment? It's like, you can do better. Everybody can do better. And if you're wanting to get into a better shape, just realize that the difficulty and the burden of you staying the way you are right now outweighs the discomfort and the difficulty of you making the plan, eating clean, and going to the gym for 4 weeks. Think about it. Think about, the stress and the burden and the headache that you have continuously because you feel like you're out of shape or you are out of shape versus going through it for four weeks. Say the minimum 3 weeks. Some people can actually change their habits in 3 weeks. If it's not 3 weeks, it's 4 weeks. Max, it will take 2 months, 8 weeks. 8 weeks of doing the same thing over and over, and you become a different person, and you're doing it by habit, So it's things like that. Choose your difficulty level. Not difficult. Choose what you're going to battle, right? Are you going to battle uncomfortable things, which leads you into the direction that you want to go to? Or you're just going to battle with regret and shame and just excuses all day? These are your two worlds. And just want to remind you that no one else is going to change your life for you. When you look in the mirror, that's your savior and that's your devil. You're the person that's going to change the direction, the destination of your life, you are. You're the one that's going to change it. It's only in your hands. Some people can influence you, help you out, but at the end of the day, it is your decision. It is your decision to change. It is your decision to say the same, and don't blame anyone. Stop blaming people. Stop blaming things, events. I know life sucks. I know some hard things happen, but are you just gonna You got to look at it on the long term. Are you really going to say, because of this and this and this happened to me, are you going to allow it to dictate the rest of your life? Or are you going to be able to tell that beautiful story? Hey, I went through these things when I was younger, or where I went through these things and I came up better on the other side. Tell people the beautiful story. You don't want to tell people the sad story. No one say, well, people are addicted to sad stories, but beautiful stories always have the valleys, guys. All the beautiful stories have the valleys. And then they have that grit. They have that discipline. They chose to forgive and no longer play the victim and make excuses. No more scapegoating. No more blaming others. Taking accountability for their actions and responsibility for their life. And not giving that responsibility or asking people for permission. Can I be great? Can I change my life? Don't wait around for that, guys. Days and weeks and months are gonna pass by, and you're gonna look back and nothing changed. Is because why? You didn't make a decision. You have to make a decision, and right when you make that decision, you need to sit down and make a plan. If you don't make a plan, you're not going to be able to fight the programming that already exists. Your programming majority of people's programming is not great. It's not productive, it's not efficient, it's not pushing them in the direction that they want. They desire to do many things, but they can't. And that didn't happen on accident, guys. So you have to fight. You have to fight to change your habits. And that's why it's important to make a plan. Take your time one day to make a plan and see what kind of things does that person I want to be does on a daily basis, and what do they have to do on a daily basis to get where I want to be. You have to plan it. It doesn't happen by accident. Chaos, right? Chaos and disharmony is destroyed through intention and planning. No other way. If you don't plan your life, someone else will, and they don't have your best interest, trust me. So figure out what you want in life. Figure out who you want to be, and make a plan and start executing it day by day. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay for resistance to occur. You got to fight through it. You're called to be a warrior. You're a soldier. You're a pilgrim on earth. Earth is just a battle. It's just a level to get through, guys. So be hard. You're meant to be hard. You weren't saved. You weren't saved to continue to be weak and soft, guys. Right? You came here to take authority, to dominion, to create, and to serve. And through that, that's empowerment. That's where you find out who you are. That you are made in the image of God. You're made in the image of the Creator. You're made in the image of love. You're made in the image of the great Master, the great servant. Right? And when you begin to put that incorporate that kind of nature into your daily living, you find yourself. And that's where that, a cliche saying comes from. You find yourself through service. And you do. Because you'll be surprised how much giving returns. And what is that return, right? It's finding out that I am love in expression. That you are made in the image of God, that you are one with God. And when you love people, right, the primary way is to forgive the world, forgive everything in your mind, just forgive it. Show mercy and grace to it, and you'll resurrect it. And in the resurrection, you'll realize that I am love. I am one with the Father. And you will be able to say the same thing that Christ said, I am the resurrection and the life. And he who obeys me will be one with me. He who does what I tell them will realize that I am in them, and they are in me, and I am in the Father. Right? So when you do what Christ told you to do, which is absolute forgiveness, absolute mercy, compassion, and grace, right? And grace is a difficult one to do because we live in a very conditional world, and there's a lot of criterias that we have to overcome. But if you implement these 3 principles in your life, you will see your whole reality change, is because you transformed the inner man. There's an inner alchemy. Christ is the greatest alchemist. He turned something that was dead into alive. And that's something that I desire every single person on earth to experience. Because once after experiencing that, your whole mind flips, and you just see things so much differently, and you have a earnest desire to see everybody be their best self. You actually have a desire for people to prosper and abound, and it doesn't make you feel inadequate that someone's doing better than you. You're actually happy to see people doing well, and you actually feel bad seeing people do bad or not so great in their life. You're actually a kind person. You're not jealous, you're not envious, you're not proud. All those emotions disappear when you obey Christ and what He taught us to do. He taught us the way back to the Father, back to the source. It is only by His principles that you shall see the Father, God. In other words, it's by doing what He said and listening to what He said, He will reveal to you true unconditional love. See, everybody's chasing love. Everyone's trying to find love, and everyone's lost. And this is why everyone's fighting depression and loneliness and anxiety, and they have addictions to all these weird things, is because we think that's the way back to the Father. That's the way back to homeostasis, but it's not. And that's what Christ meant when He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He's showing us a direction to be reconciled, right, back into oneness with love. That's some good stuff, man. So, but I'm ending it today. I don't think I'm going to be making another video tonight unless I feel very, very inspired. I'm going to try to cap out 3, but I need to work on some other things and write down all the things I got to do this weekend. And I'm just trying to live as a role model for you guys. And if you have any questions, I don't got any followers yet, but if anyone watches this video and you're curious about some stuff, just put it in the comments, subscribe, share the channel, do me a solid, and stay intentional, find out your whys, and take action, and talk to God on a daily basis, guys. All right, take care, guys.